So my name's Amany. I am the Skills Development Lead for People RDC, which is within the health and medical domain of ARDC. So I work with external stakeholders to co-design and produce various forms of skills development material for our digital research infrastructure, and this is specifically for health and the medical sector. So today I want to talk to you all about some insights that we gained from our 2024 Skills Summit from the research training community. So just a bit of background for those of you that don't know, the first Skills Summit was in 2019, and it's a national forum that brings together digital research skills trainers, leaders, and stakeholders to share expertise, build partnerships, and overall to advance coordinated approaches to strengthening Australia's digital research capabilities. And over the years, we've had many different themes and hosted many different interesting discussions. And in a nutshell, these included things like the challenges facing the sector and developing a digitally skilled workforce, some of the success factors for skills training and capability building across the research workforce. Now, we've discussed about many more things, but these are a few things that we talked about. So at our last Skills Summit in 2024, we took the opportunity to unpack some of these themes by taking it back to the training community and tap into some of their experiences. So we extracted this information from participants using Miro and Mentimeter, and we asked them about things such as the challenges and approaches that they face when developing training for the research community. And we topped it off by asking the billion-dollar question, which I'll elaborate on a little later. So these are all open response questions, and we conducted a little thematic analysis to categorize themes, and from this determined the frequency of occurrence. And this is how often a theme appears within the data set. So essentially, this little exercise was designed to get a snapshot of this cohort of trainers' experiences and ideas. Due to limited time, I'm just going to go through some of the more stronger responses, but I'll provide a link to the summary of the results if anyone's interested in reading through all that. So when we asked participants what barriers they encountered that inhibits them to develop successful training, by far the most frequent theme was learner lack of engagement, which really isn't that surprising. But when we dive a little further into the comments, what we were hearing was that trainers had difficulty with the research community. Researchers had difficulties connecting with the research community, sorry about that, with some of the reasons being that engagement from the more non-technical domains was more difficult, and that retention of skills was difficult when the individual was not engaging in continuous practice. And finally, that untailored training does not fit the needs of the research community. So next, when we asked participants what they worked on from the past, what their past approaches were that worked, interestingly, the top response was tailored training. And when we looked into it further, many of the comments that mentioned tailored training were also associated with other themes that are listed here, especially engagement and motivation. And what we were hearing was that targeted digital skills training to the necessary level and need was very important for engagement and motivation, alongside utilizing the right medium. And finally, the billion-dollar question. So here we asked participants what skills and training and user engagement activities would they invest in if they won the lottery and had unlimited resources. So this is a little different to the previous two graphs because this was done through Mentimeter. So participants had the opportunity to both provide an open response and to upvote responses. And the percentage of upvotes is represented in the light blue bar in each of these sections here. So overall, we categorize the responses into three overarching themes. And interestingly, the two that stand out, which is human support and upskilling, which you can see on the bottom here, these were the two strongest responses. They both involve human participation and human resourcing. And this was more so than, if you look right at the right here, the tech and AI resources, so more than the actual investment in materials. So overall, these key insights reflected on the persistent engagement challenges that research trainers face, also how tailored training is key moving forward as an approach, and that human-centered investment matters. And finally, the research training community also craves collaboration, which was something that came out. So if you're interested in reading the results summary, feel free to scan the QR code here. I'll put the URL in the chat as well if anyone's interested. Also, I just wanted to finish off by saying if you're interested in engaging with some stimulating conversation with the trainer community, we do have our upcoming Skills Summit in October this year. It's a one-day event in person, which will be in Brisbane, in Griffith University. And this year, the overall theme for the summit is listen. And this reflects our purpose and focus attention and our focus to attention on each other's insights, perspectives, and challenges. And if you're interested in attending, presenting, or just finding out more information, please scan the QR code. I'll put the URL in the chat as well. All right, thank you all for listening. Here are mine and the skills team at ARDC's contact details. And yeah, I'm interested in looking forward to question time later. Thank you.